Hi everyone, my name is Rahul Bittal, and for the final project, I'll be demoing my app called MealMates. I'll be using my Android device here to share my screen. MealMates is an app for households to look up recipes, collaborate on meal plans, and share live updating grocery lists. I came up with this idea from my personal experience of using Notes apps to share weekly meal plans and recipes with my fiance. So the app uses Firebase authentication. We're going to create a new account. Let's call that john@meal.com. Sign up. Gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I mentioned, this app uses Firebase authentication. We come in here the um, to be able to maintain and demonstrate mutable shared state. The user has to join a household or create a household to be able to share the meal plans and the grocery lists. So in this case, you can see all the features of the app are gated that you have to create or join a household first. I'm going to create a household named Joe, create a household. And this comes with an invite code that we'll be using to create and join the household for our second user. So I'm going to take a note of this and move on with demoing the functionality. So here now I can see I'm the only member of this household. That is fine. I can go in to search for recipes. I'm going to look for, let's say, a pasta. I find a Mediterranean pasta salad. This app is integrated with the third-party API called the MealDB API. It is a public and free API from which we can look up recipes, get thumbnail images, and also get the list of ingredients that are required for the recipe. In here, I'm going to click Save to Meal Plan. This recipe is now saved to our Firestore database. The Firestore database is set up with collections of users and households. The households themselves will contain all the meals that are being added to the meal plan here. This app uses a swipe refresh layout, so I can refresh to get any latest updates. And by clicking on the recipe here, I'm sent back to that one recipe view. Going back here, I can now go to the grocery list and click on update list from meal plan. This will fetch all the ingredients from the meals that are saved in the meal plan and put them in the grocery list. I'm very proud of this logic since this logic also maintains whenever a recipe is removed from the meal plan, it will automatically also remove all the uh, gro- uh, items from the grocery list. I'll go back here. Let me add the pasta again. Can see it here, and then we can click on the update list from meal plan. This button grays out whenever, as we're tracking the last update date of the grocery list and the last update date of the meal plan. This button is enabled or disabled based on the timestamp there. In the list here, I can check few items, and it does mark that this was checked by John. Let's remember this. We check basil and pepper, and then we have one item in the list here. I'm going to log out and log back in as another user. Let's create a new user called Jane at app.com. I think I used this earlier, Jane at meal.com. Sign up, and here we can see that Jane is not part of our household. We're going to use the invite code that we saw earlier to join the household. Um, all of the invite codes and the household information are all maintained in the Firestore database. Join the household, and now we can see that Jane is part of the same household as John is, and John is the owner of the household. We can also leave the household, but going back here to meal plan, I can now see that one recipe that John had added, and when I go back to the grocery list, I can see the two items that were checked by John. I can come in here, I can check a few items, I can see the name Jane. I can search for recipes, I can even list recipes by category. Let's look at some breakfast recipes, and we'll add breakfast potatoes to our meal plan. Here we can see the recipe being added, and when I go to the grocery list, I can see the button enabled to update the list from the meal plan, and I can see the additional items added. I can check those two, and if I log out here and log back in as John, I can then see the changes on John's end as well. So I'm going to sign in this time. Use the password. And here I can see in the meal plan the breakfast potatoes that Jane added. and I can see all the recipe items here. Something I'm really proud about for this application is the user grouping with the household management, being able to store the household information in the database, um, the integration with the third-party API to be able to look up recipes, um, and being able to use retrofit and JSON to deserialize the data and render it here. Um, One cool thing that I'm really proud of is the grocery list management. In the backend processing logic, when a meal is added to the meal plan, it goes through the list of all the ingredients and converts them into IDs, and then rationalizes if the ingredient was already part of our meal plan, and then is able to make sure that we only have one item. So, for example, in this one, you can see pepper and salt have two taste plus pinch. So if I go back to my recipe, I can see pinch salt, but in the other one, I can see two taste salt. So this will ensure that we are able to accurately combine the different measurements for the same ingredients. And then when you remove a certain meal from the meal plan and update the list, those items go away from the list here. And you can see pepper is still there, but it's only to taste now. We did see mutable shared by being able to log in as two different users and being able to see the same household information, same meal plan, the same grocery list. And yep, so this was it. Thank you.